So a little introduction. I'm going to write a mobile app that has that will be available on Android and iOS. Those people usually write to those platforms using either Java or Kotlin languages for Android, or Swift or Objective-C if they're writing an app for iOS. But there are a lot of cross-platform solutions to write code for both platforms, and one of them is Xamarin that I'm gonna use. And the main feature of this technology is you can write some common logic code, and it will be available on both Android and iOS. So in general, it's gonna be about 70% of the app reaching for both platforms, and the rest 30 is just usually UI code written for every platform separately. I already written a project called JKClient, and that's gonna be the main project that run game that accepts commands and receives commands. It runs in endless loop, just listening for new messages from servers and sending back messages to the server. And that's the main job the JKClient gonna do. I'm going to write a mobile app using template. I think it's called template. That is called MvvM. That means that the main architecture of the app is split to model, view, and ViewModel, to 3 parts. So the main features MvvM is binding and kind of subscribing to changes and binding to values, to properties, to commands, and I'll show this later. And in our case, and in our cross-platform solution, it's gonna be that template is gonna be split to certain projects. Like model project is JKClient. It's just basically kind of API for ViewModel. ViewModel uses model as API, reads some data from there, and the core project is gonna be ViewModel project. ViewModel is just basically defines how we want to see the final UI look like, and UI is defined in the View project. In our case, it's going to be Android and iOS in the future. So Android project is View part, core project is ViewModel part, and JK client is model part. The point is splitting to such parts is making every part is black box, and every part usually doesn't know how another part works, so they work independently, and it's easy to replace one of parts in future. So ViewModel reads data from model part, and then ViewModel applies that read data to some properties and some commands, and those commands and properties are bound to view part, and view part gets some updates visually. That's why it's called view. So model part is kind of ready. It will be modified, but it's mainly ready. So today I'm probably gonna mainly write a ViewModel part. It's kind of ViewModel, as I told, just defines how we want our future view look like. So it's basically just using imagination. So every ViewModel will be just like a rule, a definition for future views. And so let's start with it. To work with this MvvM template, we either have to write our own helper classes, helper services and functions, or use some already existing ones. And I will use such already existing package that provides all that classes, services, etc. So I can use it here. That's what I usually use at work, and gonna apply here as well. So in my case, I'm gonna use a package called MvvmCross. That's pretty popular MvvM framework. Wait a second. Here it is. I'm gonna use this. And that will be a core for our project. So let's start with adding it as a helping package. Their documentation is a bit out of date, and they break a lot from that what I was talking about. The core, the view models, and UI, the views, and the model is our JK client itself. Yeah, packages. Okay, am I doing it? So let's start. As they told us to create new file. And it's probably gonna be application. Oh, right. Everything of this package starts with the MvvmX. Still not defined. I guess I have to also add. Oh no. Also add. Core or binding. Oh, it's all set as deprecated. Interesting. Where is MvvmX? Wait, it's not a MvvmX application. What am I doing? Okay, I don't understand. They really change everything. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't suggest me. So this is entry of our application. It's defined in core project. here the file is here. We will register our ViewModels here, and we will set up what ViewModel will be the entry ViewModel, and we have to define some base ViewModel class for our application that will inherit and reuse in all ViewModels in the future. So we're adding a folder base. It will be abstract class. That means that we cannot use it as a model itself, as a ViewModel itself. We have to always inherit from this class and reuse it. And the main feature of ViewModel is binding, and that's why I'm using MvvmCross framework, is because it provides bindings, and why it doesn't suggest me? And such built-in MvvmCross ViewModels already contain some basic functions, services for bindings. They also contain some extra stuff like navigation, login, etc. But for now we only interested in bindings. Yeah, that's main idea of binding is property changed realization. So our model will have some ViewModel will have some properties, and we will notify view that some properties changed, and the view will change some objects that are bound to ViewModel properties. So now we're gonna look at our design, graphics design, the UI, and okay, let's do it first. Here it is. If you have questions, you may ask. I think a lot of things that I'm explaining is not simple, or just I'm bad at explaining things. So that's the UI. It's not complete, but it's mostly complete. Wait, did she finish it? Oh no, she didn't. Did she? Yeah, she didn't complete the icons. She is a girlfriend. She made the UI. So some icons are not done. Something else not done as well. I don't remember exactly, but it's like 90% ready. like this send icon is default, like that ping icon, connected icon, filter, and oh yeah, wait. Oh, the dark one is old one and this one is new one, but it's probably is not. So okay, we will have two main ViewModels. It will be for first screen and for second screen. So for serial list and for chart itself. So we're creating a folder. Can you rename it? That will be our entry ViewModel. It will inherit from our base ViewModel that I created. Why doesn't it suggest me? Okay. Well, gee, you did be right back. Maybe I was talking to myself that whole time. So I guess every ViewModel will have title property. So like this title. So we will have in our base ViewModel title property. Properties are defined like I probably need to make templates so I won't type manually. Oh yeah. So property basically is some definition of what we can set value to or get value from. And in MvvM we need those to notify when that property changes. So it usually happens like this. SetProperty. SetProperty is defined in MvvmCross. And MvvmCross is defined in MvvmCross package. And so that SetProperty function is a helper function. So I didn't need to write it manually myself. So if I don't inherit from this ViewModel, that function will be undefined. It doesn't exist. So that's why I'm using MvvmCross package. So SetProperty accepts accepts a reference to a field, the new value, and the name of the property. It's probably not needed to write this. Yeah, it could work. If that not explicitly defined, then it will use property name itself. So you can either use explicit naming, use custom naming like something like that, or don't define at all, then it will use title. It's equal to title. But it's better to use name of, because if you decide to rename to something else, then it will be changed here as well. And yeah, here we update that property, that title property, and then when we add a respectful view in our platform project to Android, to iOS, then when we set title, it will be changed in Vue as well, and that will be achieved with bindings. So we define title in base ViewModel, so in serialist ViewModel that inherited from base ViewModel, the title will be also available. So, and every class has a constructor, an entry point for every class. And here we define the title. It will be here it is. That's really basic stuff that will be done in here. And then we look at design again, and we see we just need to, as I told, ViewModel is a definition of how our future view will look like, and the definition is usually built of properties. So looking at server list, we can think what properties we may have. One of properties is title. I already defined it. It's just a general property. And another property is a serial list. So we have to define property of some enumerable type. So I'm going to use MvvmX observable collection type, and that type will be of types some that's serial list. It's made of such cells. Every cell will contain some data for server, and that will have its own ViewModel. So we have to make a list of view models. So it will be some server list item view model, and we have to define it here. Oh, it will be items. Yeah, I definitely need to make a template for properties. So in server list, I'll add new folder called items. I'll create a new file. Yeah. And it will also be, it's not necessary to be base ViewModel because it doesn't have, well, it has title, but it's not, base ViewModel is for whole pages, like this whole page serial list. I'll probably have to name it page ViewModel, not sure. I could just inherit from MvvmX ViewModel. And here we can, is it defined? It's defined now. So in server list ViewModel, this, we have a property title for this, a property server list for the whole list. Here it is. It's property items that contain view models, small view models called server list item view model. I hope I explain it understandable. And every item view model, this item, will have its own properties, like no, no. Code snippet for property. Oh. What, I need to create my own. Okay. So what we have here, we have to bin and server list item view model. That's it. I selected it. We have to define 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 properties that define that item. One of them is server name. Server name has just all of those properties gonna be probably strings. So I'll define every property as a string. So it will be string server name. And here we have to, I guess I wanted to create a snippet with this line, but I guess since making snippets a bit complicated, Oh yeah, people even have written extra program for making snippets. Yeah, it will take longer. I guess I won't explicitly define property name. It will use this property name. So string again. What's the server name, map name? Oops. Oh. Let me explain. I don't need to use SetProperty in every property here because although I guess I have to, because that SetProperty only needed if the value changes, but if it doesn't change, if it doesn't get changed, then SetProperty is not needed. Now I'm thinking, could server name be changed? I think it could. Map name could be changed. I mean, people change map. How many players is also changed. Pings changed. Types changed. Game type connector. Yeah, we have to use SetProperty. So map name. String map name players. I could define two different properties for amount of connected players and amount of total players, but I think it's not needed and I can just combine them in one string. So it's gonna be just players, I guess. Yeah, thanks to Jane for making that UI. She used a lot of references, in-game fonts, in-game colors to find something that can be best. We were discussing the background color because we needed to find the best background where all the colors are visible, and we ended up with this kind of blue-gray, dark blue-gray. Blue one is still barely visible, but I don't know, we ended up with this background. So players, ping. game type, and status. Status, I guess gonna be, I guess I'll define my own model for status. For this I make a new folder, models, new item. It's gonna be enumerable type. Okay, there's no enumerable. With connection status. It's gonna be disconnected, connecting, connected. So, and this type will be used as type of this property. It's undefined because it's defined in core models. Now it's visible. So all the properties are set, are defined. Yeah, and this serial list item with all those properties define this item. And this item is part of this whole serial list, and that was defined here. That's the list of serial list items with the variable name items, and I'm going to replace it with property. Yeah. And here it is. So the basics, the very basics is done, I think. Yeah, that's a list. Oh, in the future, but let's also write it. We'll have a command. When we click on this item, we will navigate to chat page. So we have to create a command using also MvvmX command that defines some stuff like can that command be executed and some other stuff. So no snippet for command. Okay. It's gonna be item selected. Well, let's use it how I usually use it works. Selection. How do I use it? Selection, change it. I don't really remember. Selection changed command. And we declared that command. We have to initialize it. That will be a Wix command that receives serverless item as ViewModel, because when we click on this item, then that command is executed, selection changed command, and it will receive that item as an argument. So and execution of clicking on that command will be written here. It will be some navigation like oh yeah, I have to define a service. Okay, I have to write a service for this. So yeah, and items also have to be initialized. I guess it can stay being uninitialized, so being null like this, but let it just be an empty list. So we define serverless ViewModel. I think that's all. The list made of items. Filter. I could also define something like this. I can leave it, I guess. Filter command, and that will be executed when we click on filter. But in the first stage of the app, there won't be filtering, so we let it just be commented out. Yeah. So the app, the entry class, where we have to initialize our app, initialize the entry point of entry ViewModel. Core app in sample files. Oh, right. Okay, let's go with picture taking sample. As you can see, they also contain some core, droid, iOS separated projects. Core contains ViewModels, Android and iOS contain views, and store probably contains some model API. I don't know. So app. Yeah, I have to override initialize. Register app type. App start. And it's gonna be server list ViewModel. That's it, right? Right. Register it. So when the app starts, it will try to use this ViewModel as enter ViewModel, and in every platform project, for example Android, it will seek for corresponding view that's registered together with this ViewModel, and if it finds that view, then it navigates through that view and displays. And thinking about that, I just realized I probably need to make, instead of making server listing model, I have to make some main view model. Not sure. Okay, let's hop to Android project. As I told, I will add iOS project later, when the design is fully done and graphics design, and I finish with the Android. Then adding iOS will be really fast. I just need to complete one of parts. Oh, before working with Android, we need to load data, because we don't load anything. And here we will define we need to add to our core project another project. Dependencies, add project reference. We'll add JK client, so we can use JK client classes here, and one of them will be server browser. That I creating in JK client here. The type is defined here. You can see it. Yeah. So we have server browser, and we now need to load data. We need to load servers and apply servers to items. It's probably gonna be in initialize as well. I guess I have to manage some run will be done here. Get new list and refresh new list should be done separately. Yeah, I think it's okay. So I just have to start the run. So initializing task, and task will be server browser run. Yeah. And no. It will be done here. It will be done as a separate task. So it will run on background independently. And while it's running, we will get new lists. Maybe it should be done in a separate method. Okay. Let's leave it like this, but I need some property here that will be public property, and that will tell us when we get global servers. I could probably make it as a task. Let's make it as a task that could be awaited. So we can synchronize with this task, and then we will need some task completion source. I guess it's gonna be boolean, like completed or not completed. Set result. Oh, I see, yeah. And it's gonna be global because we'll need to make that completion when we load all the servers. And yeah, let's define it globally like this. It have to be declared globally. But initialize it locally. And if it already was initialized, then we just try set cancelled. Yeah. We need to start new task completion source, and we need some timeout. When we started getting new server list, and we ended ended getting new server list, and there must be timeout because after some time, let's say 3 seconds, if we don't get any new servers, then we assume then that we got all the possible servers. So have to define some server refresh timeout. Let's call it like this. it will be equal to 0. And yeah, naming is like going through this. And here we set the timeout. From this moment plus, let's say, 3 seconds. And getting new server info will update that value. So timeout always gets updated. But if we if timeout is more than current time, then we will assume that we are done. So this task ends when we started getting new lists. We set new timeout, we set new task completion source, we send some data like get servers to the server, and then we are waiting when task completion source having this task ends, and it won't end until we set the result, and it will only end when we will time out, but we will time out after last server updated plus 3 seconds. If after the last server info we received 3 seconds later nothing received, then we will just set the result that we are done, and that get new list ends execution. I hope I explained it understandably. So I'm not sure I coded it right, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, and now we can return this because it's task now. Yeah. But why? I'm doing it wrong. It will be like this. And not just like this, it will be like this. Load data. And I forgot, it's not drawn, but we'll have a loading indicator in the center. That means that something is loading, because user has to see some feedback what's going on the screen. So here will be loading indicator, and here it will have loading indicator when we connecting or disconnected, trying to reconnect. So every page will have loading indicators, so we will define it here. We have general property title for every page, and we will have general property is loading, or just loading. Yeah, and that loading property will be bound to loading indicator visibility. So when is loading true, then we will see loading indicator displayed. When it's false, then we won't see. So, and when we load data, we will just set is loading true, and we're done. Is loading false. Can catch some errors. I'll also have to write some login service, alert service, like displaying an error to the user, like a dialog window like this with the error message. But it will be done later. For now, I'll just display the error in the console. Exception, actually. Oh, I'm crying. My left eye is crying, I don't know why. And get new list will return us, instead of bool, it will return a list of servers. Should it be list? Let it be some enumerable of server info type. And when we try to search result, yeah, it says true. True is bad. Let's try something like this. Global service. Values. Keys. Values. Yeah, server info is values. Keys is net address. Server info is values. Values. Yeah, values is a type of enumerable. Yeah, enumerable. Key value pair. Alright. Wait. Yeah. So we will try to return this. Why? Oh, return. And it's not async. Right? Am I right? Yeah. We will await here and return the list. Let's call it servers. Yeah, and servers has a type of server enumerable of server info. So now we need to set the server info model, that's model, to our ViewModel items. Because we have enumerable of server info, we need to set the list of ViewModels, server list item. So that's how we're going to do this. We're gonna use so-called link extensions to work with the collections to enumerables, and since servers is enumerable, we can apply those extensions to servers. And items will be new observable collection. Where servers, okay, let's just use like this. From the servers select is also part of a link extensions. So we select, it's like working with the SQL queries, but it's built into just enumerables, collections, lists, etc. So we will try to select from server info each object, and convert this server info object to server list item ViewModel. That's how we're gonna do this. We'll use some setup item function, and here I'm gonna define that setup item function. It will return server list item VM setup item, and it accepts as argument server info. Yeah, it doesn't show an error here. instead of writing a separate function, it could be done like this, like server new server list item, like this, and it accepts server, but we'll use a separate function, and we'll do this here. Return new server list item ViewModel that accepts server model. So there happens ViewModel model interaction, where we convert some model server info to our ViewModel. ViewModel, as I told before, is just a rule, a definition of our future view. That's how we want to see our future view. Like looking at design, graphics design, UI, we see that that's how we want to look our view in future, defining that in ViewModel, setting those properties. And we have to make a constructor that that accepts server info model, and applies server info to what? Oh yes, server status defined in JK client, disconnected, connected, challenging, connected, primed, active, and it's also defined here. And we have to just make it explicit what actual definition is used. We use our own definition, that we have 3 values. We don't need values defined here, because why? I don't remember. I probably need to make it internal so it's not available. I'll see that in future. And this constructor also has to be internal, so it won't be available in this view, because view should only know about ViewModel. It shouldn't know about models. So ViewModel under project shouldn't know about model JK client. I mean, not object, just project view shouldn't know about model project. And if we make a constructor that accepts some model class, then view will also see that constructor, because it's defined public. It's available everywhere. But we will hide it internally until it won't be seen by view, by Android project. And so it won't see that server info class. So we encapsulated our view from model. Why it's done? Because as I told before, every project has to be a black box, and they shouldn't know how some internal stuff work. and when view knows how model works, then we can just mess up something. Like, instead of using ViewModels, we'll just use some models directly, etc. It's hard to explain without actual examples, but the better when things are isolated from each other. So let's do some assignments. Conversion from model to ViewModel, from model server info to server list item ViewModel. Host name, map name, players, it's gonna be that weird thing that clients and max clients. Yeah. What next? Ping. And oh, okay. Game type. Game type. I better use some names with the spaces, but for now let's leave it like this, so we won't have extra converters. And status. Oh, okay, by default it's gonna be disconnected. It's not defined in server info because it will be set that status value, this property status value, when we actually connect to the server. It's not defined in server info. Server info is just information. So we created server list item based on item view model based on server info model. Now we are back to here. We created enumerable type of server list item. We received enumerable of server info, as you can see, and we converted it to enumerable of several list item ViewModel. So we list of models converted to list of ViewModels, and now we just initialize our items with this list. So items are defined now, and they will be, since they are assigned here with this new value, they will be updated here with all those items, with this whole list, and with all those values for every item. So yeah, I think I'm mainly done with the initialization. Need to do something in Vue kind of project. Need to make some UI. Oh right, need to add MvvmCross here as well. Is anyone even here? I'm talking to myself. Yeah, it's added. Is it installed? Is it installed? Yeah, it's installed. And I need to use new Droid X. I think it's called like this. Yeah. Or not, yeah. I'll definitely need to recycle view. Okay, let's set just recycle view. Is it installed? It's not installed. Failed. Is not oh. Alright, I see. We need to target Android 10. I'll just save everything. Targeting Android 10 is required if I need to publish to Google Play, because they recently changed that in rules, and since November all new applications have to be compiled with the Android 10 SDK. It's necessary, yeah, and they have to target Android 10 respectively. But minimum version could be set still to something low, like 4.4 KitKat or something. But target version has to be Android 10. But if you don't publish to Google Play Store, then you can just target anything actually. So I can probably add that recycler view package. Okay, it's installed. Okay. Main activity. Can it understand those types? It's 29 version, and yeah, I have something installed for 29. I don't need your emulator. Okay, well, I don't really understand why it doesn't detect types. It's still installed version 2. Okay, if you want so. But could you please? It doesn't see mono Android for some reason. Maybe I need to set something in properties. It's visible in Android 9 SDK. Oh, it's fine now. Okay. Need to look at documentation. Oh, it's so big. That's what she said. Oh, we need to override application. Okay. Okay. But where is... Well, it used to be a separate file. Do you have to create it? Really? Okay. Class. I need class. Application. Has to have application attribute. That means no. Oh yes. No. Okay, fine. What's going on? Why don't you like me? Okay. I guess it's just not defined. Then we need to check their block. Compart application. Let's look at the source code. Maybe it's just material. Maybe just I guess I have to add platform. Package. Oh, it's already so late. Well, it's deprecated, it's not huge. It's also deprecated. Is the filter to not see deprecated? Oh, I think it has to be version or what was just 7? Okay, I don't understand. Okay. MvvmCross. It's not available, really? wait. It's shown as added. Okay, let's uninstall it and let's install it again. It's not installed. It should be listed among references. Something wrong with this project. Oh, maybe dependencies. Mono Android version 10. Okay, let me install this. Let me install this. Oh, maybe I have to also install Android support, because they conflict. Oh, now I see essentials listed. And if I'm doing everything right, then this will be installed as well. Ooh. Yeah, it didn't ask for accepting license before. Yeah, MvvmCross appeared here. Yeah, there we are. So Android app compat application. I think it doesn't exist anymore because of Android X. Yeah, it wants me to install app compact package. I guess that's how Android X works. We'll see. Okay. And have to have attribute application. Yeah. And having this attribute, it will generate this application in Android manifest. Yeah, it will generate this item. Okay, what's next? Let's look back in the documentation. We'll probably need Android setup later, but maybe we'll need it in the nearest future. I guess I need to look at my can mouse right clicked be clicked? Make some layout. Oh. No. Okay, let's set splash activity for now. No. It's gonna be main launcher. App theme. I guess can just copy this. And we have to define layout. New item, Android layout, splash. Screen. Would be just some frame layout. Okay, let's leave it like linear layout with background black, color black. Yeah, splash screen will be just black for now. Okay, then we just add this in the constructor. Splash activity. Resource layout splash screen. That's it. We'll see splash activity first when the app launches, and that will apply this splash screen. Actually, we can add everything here, like image view, and we will see some image in the center. But for now, it just not needed, and it's not drawn in UI, so we won't bother doing it. Let's look at the samples. It's so small. That's what she said. Splash screen. Yeah. Well, where are the views? Layout, first view. First view. Bootstrap. Store. I didn't get it. Splash screen. Layout. Okay, let's look at another example. Star Wars sample, that's what we need. Okay, let's define that setup file. think it just MvvmCross and Droid setup. It wants some MvvmCross application, and that must be app, and app is defined in core project, and we need to reference our project core, and then we can use that app, right? So we don't need this, do we? No, we don't. Yeah. And application is setup and app. Right, right. Splash screen views. Main view is activity. Okay. And it uses main ViewModel. Oh, it's probably defined in the drawer. Menu view. Okay. Okay, we don't need main activity, I guess. And we will need views. So let's create folder named views. And we also create ViewModels main. It will be main ViewModel. And I guess I'll have to define navigation service here. It's gonna be public base view model. It's gonna be protected, so it will be available in inherited classes. Yeah. Okay. Let's resolve it. Yeah. Okay, let's do this through command. Show serial list. Wait. Oh, okay. Why did I call it server? It's service. Yeah. That's it. Oh, navigate. Navigate to server list view model. That's it. Oh, okay. Oh, that's it? No? Oh, right. Yeah. And register upstart will be main view model, not server list view model. So yeah, and now we have to create a view for this main view similar to this. Main activity. And it will depend on main view model. Right? Right. And now we'll Okay. It's gonna be frame layout. It's gonna contain coordinator layout. That will be full screen. So layout width and height properties are set to match parent. It will contain inside a bar layout. Is it? No, why is it Google up bar? Layout Android X, yeah. Well, is it really Google? Okay, fine. Match parent by width and wrap content by height. And inside it will have toolbar. Match parent wrap content, yeah. Toolbar. That toolbar with serial list. And we need to set some style to this toolbar. Nothing to set, we just need to define some colors, like, let's say, toolbar, and it's gonna be this copy. Oh. The UI is designed in Figma, and in Figma you can select something like this. It can create some layout for some objects that you select. That's really cool for Android, for iOS, for web. That's cool. And can I just copy it a hex, right? Yeah, I want that to be just single click button click for copying. Okay, we defined color for toolbar. Now we can apply this color it's not generated each time you add some new item into resources. They got regenerated in this resource designer CS file, automatically regenerated, and they get new IDs for every item in resources. And you either have to wait some time, or sometimes you have to reload project to see those changes applies. Add color means I'm accessing to some color resource, and then I just seek for, yeah, it's not available. Again, just color accent, right? Color accent, that's defined here. Color accent, yeah. So, okay. Then we have to define color for title. Title, not just color. We have to define some style. It's gonna be toolbar text, toolbar title. It's gonna have some items like Android text column, and it's gonna be copy. If it's selected Android, will it copy just hex? And we will define color here. It's gonna be toolbar title. And copy. It again copies its like CSS value. Okay, can I just copy it like this? Yeah, toolbar title, and we set it like color toolbar title. But that's not it. We also have to set size, and size is 14 So we set item name Android text size. It's gonna be 14 SP. What does SP mean, and what is 14? On Android, not just Android, also iOS, all the sizes are defined not in pixels, but defined in so-called density independent pixels. So it's like pixels multiplied with some screen scaling, some screen density value. Why it's done? It's similar to screen settings. Like here I have WQHD screen size 2560 by 1440, and I apply scaling 125. So everything looks fine in the sizes. If I set like this, everything will be really small because it's designed for smaller screen. But for bigger screen I set higher scaling. So this applies to different screen sizes as well, where some screen size can have Full HD screen, another device screen size will have some 4K screen size, but physically they will be same sized in inches, like let's say 5 inches screens. One will have Full HD screen, it's 1920 by 1080, and 4K screen it's just 3840 by 2160. And so they will have different density, different scaling, but physically they will be both 5 inches. And to make apps look the same on both, array sizes are defined in density independent pixels. And density independent pixels means then some certain size, like say 14, it will be 14 pixels multiplied with the density value, and in the end both that 14 size will look both the same on both screens. And usually it's used like 14dp. I will use it a lot in future in layouts. It's usually used like 14dp, like density independent pixels. But when we set some text sizes, we use SP value. The difference between SP and DP is that some extra scaling applied to texts. Why it's done? Because on Android you can set some custom text sizes, because your eyes may not see well, so you go to system settings, set some text sizes really big, and all the text sizes will be applied to all the applications across your whole device. And if you set text size in dp, it won't be changed when you change system settings applied to texts. But if you set 14 sp, then system scaling will be applied to this. It's good for UX, it's good for accessibility. So your app may have bigger or lower sizes, but in general they will have. But in general, if they don't apply any scaling to texts, then 14 sp will be equal to 14 dp. So, yeah, I think I explained it well. So we created a style toolbar title, and we have to apply it here. Title appearance, yeah. So the style toolbar title. Okay, they don't want. Okay, can I use this? No. Okay, it's not a big deal. Here we set some frame layout. It will be our main layout, right? Yeah. In this layout, this? No, it's not this. We will also need something like this. It will let some objects be hidden when you scroll up and down, like title view. Toolbar is hidden when you scroll up. You can ignore this term uptem. Oh, uptem. No action bar. Okay, never mind. I don't know. Okay, now we're gonna put some content view for future views. It's gonna be frame layout again, but why? Okay, look. This is enough, I guess. Yeah, let's give it some ID. ID, no? Plus at ID content frame. Oh, plus means we are creating that ID here. If we use it like this, this means we are accessing this ID, but since it's not defined anywhere, it will be an error. So we have to create that ID and maybe in future views maybe we will like something like layout below that ID, like this. So we are creating this and we are accessing this, creating with plus. So yeah, and we have to set background. Background is gonna be this, and we also define background here. Background, and we set which color background, and I guess I'll restart. I'm getting tired and hungry. I guess I'll end this soon, and not sure if we can end anything here with launching, but I'll see. Yeah, it applied, right? Does it look similar? Oh yes, it does. Yeah. Okay. As I told, ignore that thing on top. It won't be drawn. So yeah, we created this content frame, and all the future pages will be drawn in this content frame. So yeah, I need to create a view new folder, server list. Oh yeah, we have to apply this main activity main layout for this main activity first, using some common activity. Let's create this common abstract activity. It won't have any attribute. It will be makes activity. What do they use in examples? Upcome part. That means that's an old sample. Okay. mix activity, and that will be, we'll have a template for ViewModel, but also we'll have a template for ViewModel where ViewModel is, or its class, and MvvmViewModel. Yeah, that means we can abstract. When we inherit from common activity, we send here some template object, and that template object is passed to base class, and the rule for this object is it has to be class, and it has to realize that interface. So all those methods will be realized in this ViewModel. So in constructor, we're gonna accept layout ID. That layout ID will be some property provide set means we can assign this value inside this class only. When accessing outside this layout ID, then we only can get the value, we cannot set the value. So we created this, we assigned layout ID, and then we have to inflate view using binding inflate from MvvmCross, and it's gonna be like this. Not base, just layout ID and this context. Oh no, wait. No context, just null, because it won't have parent. Not sure, I don't remember. Layout ID. Okay, we got view and we set view. So we from some resource inflated some view and set that view as content. And now main activity will inherit from here. Have to initialize it with the activity main. Yeah, that's it. Yes, and what's next? Oh yeah, we need to create anyways. And we need to execute show. Yeah, it's ViewModel. ViewModel is this ViewModel. It's a template. It's template used at this ViewModel, main ViewModel, and it has this command that will navigate to serial list ViewModel. In my head, it's supposed to work. I hope it will work actually. So if I run, will it actually run? I don't think so. I think I missed something, but let's try. I definitely missed something. I'm filling it with my bot. Yeah, I know what I forgot. We'll try to navigate to serial list ViewModel, but it doesn't have a view, so we have to define view. Base main serial list at new item. It's gonna be fragment, and we're gonna use fragment navigation. That means everything will happen inside one single main activity, but all the pages will be just fragments. Fragments are just pieces of view that can coexist together. Some people use activity navigation. It's like many new apps are always created when you go to the next page, you go from previous page. I prefer fragment navigation. It's like everything inside one activity. So serialist fragment. I'll also create common fragment. As common activity, there must be a common fragment. And it also will accept ViewModel. It will use MvvmCross fragment that accepts ViewModel, where ViewModel class and MvvmCross ViewModel. Yeah, what we'll have here? We'll have a property with title. Title is type of string. And in the setter we'll have something like, wait a second, yeah, or not here. Oh, because I have to use just title property. That's it, I guess. And it's better to actually put it to an extra method. Let it be protected. So it's gonna be inherited, protected, set. Wait. Set toolbar title, string title. If activity action bar Wait, I could just use this, right? Yeah. No. Not equal null. Then I can just assign title. Yeah. What else I can do here? Oh, I also have to set up toolbar in common activity. Where is common activity? Gonna be var toolbar. Find view by ID. I didn't give it an ID, right? Yeah, I didn't. No. Toolbar. Find view by ID, toolbar, type of toolbar, and ID is resource. ID toolbar. Yeah, it got generated really fast this time. Or maybe it's an existing ID. So if it's not null, I think it cannot be null because find view by ID will throw an exception if it's so it's never null. I'll set action bar toolbar. Yeah, we set toolbar. It's action bar that is gonna be always valid. And common fragment also has to have a constructor that accepts layout ID. layout ID, and on create it will on create view it will or view this binding late layout ID container is null, and we return this view. Right. I even like this. Yeah, and now serial list fragment will head from common fragment with the types with the ViewModel serial list ViewModel. Right, and with the constructor serial list fragment base resource layout serial list page. We didn't create that page yet. Let's create it. Layout, add new item. Serial list page. Let's give it some background color red, color green. Okay, let it be like that. And if I did everything right, it has to work. Let's try and catch some errors and die. I'll try to mirror my phone screen so you see it works. Yeah. Reference Android export. Assemblies. Okay. Let's try to build it again. Okay, it's compiled. Let me try to mirror my phone screen so we see the first launch together. Yeah, seems working. Unable to activate instance Android application. This. Let's see how it generated final Android manifest. Application looks fine. Not supported, no. Instant of let's find that error. You've hit a leaky abstraction. Oh. Oh, I see that issue. Oh, but how to... Maybe I don't need to do this. Oh. Object reference. Inflator? No. Oh, I have to use inflator, not this. Wait, you're right? No? Oh, according to some helping code, ensure, yeah, later. Yes, it works. Alright. It loaded serial list page with the green background. Cool. What if we set custom title like serial list fragments, serial list title, and we need to bind title, and binding happens after creating view. Wait. Yeah. I have to create set this create binding set. It will be a common fragment ViewModel as view and ViewModel as ViewModel accidentally. And what don't you like? Oh, if I say it like this, no. The non-generic method ViewModel cannot be used with type arguments. Well, look into my other project. Oh, why isn't it extract? What if it was, I don't know, Wouldn't you complain? What don't you like? I don't understand. What doesn't it like? Create binding set. Oh! Not oh. Wait. Okay, what? No. It accepts IMVX fragment view. Not just fragment, it's fragment view. But MvvX fragment is already MvvX fragment view, yeah. I don't understand. That's right usage. Common fragment, ViewModel. ViewModel's class and MvvX model. What is ViewModel here? ViewModel class and ViewModel, that's right. It's identical. What don't you like? Okay. Non-generic method cannot be used with type arguments. Okay, you can just walk like this. Oh my god, really? Okay. Okay. Set bind. What do we bind? We bind title. That's declared here, yeah. And we bind it with no, we bind this whole class, this whole view. For title, for view title to VM title, but we need to base ViewModel, we need to create interface. Base ViewModel, and that interface will declare title. and then we have to we have to apply this interface. Interface is like rules, and it will be applied comparing to C++. There are no multiple inheritance from multiple classes. If you need multiple inheritance, then they could be achieved with the interfaces only. So if I delete this title, then it will show an error that base ViewModel doesn't implement interface member title, but it does. And command fragment tvModel will also be iBase ViewModel. And then it has title, because our VM actually is iBase ViewModel. That's how binding created. So next time we launch this, we will see how our title is set through binding, because it's set in here in title, and it's bound to this title in this view. So binding view with ViewModel, set apply. Let's see if it works. Wait, I know what I did wrong, but I will fix it tomorrow, or today, or tomorrow. Let's see if it just sets title using binding. No, it didn't set title. Was it even called? Why are you frozen? Action bar is not null. Main activity. Oh, I know what's wrong. Okay, I need to create special attribute for serialist fragment. Fragment attribute. Android video present fragment presentation attribute. That will an example. Okay, that will type of main view model, I think. Content will be the source ID, content frame, to be stack, false. Yeah, and now using content frame from activity main, that content frame, and our serial list will be drawn here instead of replacing whole view. Because I put presentation attribute to this fragment. Oh, yeah, it seems working. Even color is correct according to UI. Yeah, that's right. I need to hide my own activity, but yeah, serial list is displayed as in design. Same color of toolbar, same color of title, and binding worked, so I bound title in view and title in ViewModel, so everything works. Yeah, cool. I think I'm done for today. I didn't really think I would finish actually something that could be run, but I actually did. I'm happy that something simple works. Actually, yeah, I think that list with items I'll leave for tomorrow, or maybe some other day, but I think I will continue tomorrow. Yeah, that's it for today, I guess. Thanks for watching, for asking so few questions. I think I did some useful explanations of things, how they work, etc. So, thanks for watching. See you later.